Fitch Ratings cut Calpine senior unsecured debt from a BB to a B+, and its outstanding convertible trust preferred securities and high tides from a B to a B-. To talk more about Fitch's latest rating notch, join us live from the Amex in New York is Hugh Belton. He's the senior director of Fitch's Global Power Group. Hugh, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
What do the downgrades reflect? Hi, Stephanie. Aluminum companies in the Northwest wrapped up $30 million in liquidated damages this year through take-or-pay contracts with the Bonneville Power Administration. Yesterday was the payment deadline, and there's still outstanding debt.
If you haven't checked your credit report in a while, now is the time to do so. Choice Point said today that consumers in all 50 states and 3 U.S. territories may have had their personal information stolen when criminals gained access to the election less than 2 months away. You'd think voting machines would be a lucrative business. But take it from Thomas Edison, who first created the vote counter. They're not. As Diebold recently discovered, $100 tax refund. I say time to invest. So consider opening a discount brokerage account. What's the biggest mistake people make with their money? And the economically sensitive sectors like transportation, materials, and industrials are also on the decline on very, very light volume ahead of the Labor Day holiday. And you might see a lot of movement up or down in a lot of these stocks very easily because of the light volume. So where's the strength and weakness in today's market? Software is higher on a federal judge's favorable ruling for Oracle's hostile takeover bid of PeopleSoft. Gold is at a one-week high on weak U.S. economic data, and oil is up on a decline in crude and gasoline inventories. On the flip side, automakers are lower, with GM seeing more cuts if the economy and sales don't improve. Airlines are under pressure as a possible bankruptcy filing for U.S. Airways Group is looming, and the financial sector is lower, with Ameritrade expressing caution about fourth quarter earnings. Remember Genghis Khan? He is the 13th century Mongolian conqueror.
I thought he played basketball for the Knicks.
That was a good guess, though.
Bob Genghis Khan? Anyway.
No, just Genghis Khan. Well, he's alive and well in the 21st century. Or so PeopleSoft CEO Craig Conway would argue of his former boss and current chairman of Oracle, Larry Ellison. This is Ellison is one step closer to his next conquer. A federal judge cleared the way for Oracle's hostile takeover. Tisdale says the company needs to move on to the offense and anticipate consumer needs. This is the company warns sales aren't going as well as expected. Tisdale attributes the decline to bad marketing and execution with Coca-Cola and its new products. I agree, the company isn't promoting all of Coca-Cola's talents. It's such a versatile product. It can be used to remove rust spots from chrome car bumpers, remove grease stains from clothing, and even clean a toilet. Having a will, it's a public document, so when you die, it actually anyone can read your will in the county courthouse. So that's actually a problem. But if privacy is a concern, trust might be a better option. Intel is undoubtedly the worst performing stock on the Dow this year as the company continues to disappoint investors with weak numbers. In its mid-quarter report, the chipmaker slashed its revenue estimate on an increase in inventory and a decrease in demand. Analysts in reaction lowered their forecast and downgraded the sector. Leader to small company with a big jump today. World Airways is soaring on a large defense contract. NetSolve is up on an acquisition by Cisco, and PeopleSoft is higher with a federal judge clearing the way for Oracle's takeover. On the flip side, market laggards. Automotive system manufacturer Visteon is down on an earnings warning. Alcoa shares falling on a profit warning, and Delta Airlines is down as bondholders refuse Delta's request to buy back debt it needs to be restructured. Technology news can be a sea of misinformation if not viewed with a critical eye. Here to help us wade through the hype and comment on the latest announcement in downloadable music is technology expert Brian Cooley with CNET. Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey guys, good to be here.
Microsoft now going head-to-head with Apple in the online music market. Tell us about its latest venture.
Michael had
Too much action in PG&E stock this morning. We're seeing more of a flurry of activity in the major indices, though, following the announcement that Iraq may have accepted the UN resolution. The Dow was up about 50 points, NASDAQ up about 8 points, but now the activity is starting to fade. If the government subsidizes and offers tax incentives to the defense sector, why not the health sector? The government sees both as a necessity. He says it is, after all, a matter of public health, safety, and even in some cases, life or death. This international terminal here at SFO is very quiet. Yes, it's early, but just imagine if the A380 was landing or taking off from here. We're talking about a 1.2 million pound plane fully loaded that could seat as many as 800 passengers. The last place you might expect to find this grandmother holiday shopping is Williams-Sonoma.
It's something that they really want, then I will pay more money for it.
Lois Dorothy is not alone. Analysts are predicting high-end retailers like Williams-Sonoma are going to come out the big winners this holiday season.
The reason, they say, is more disposable income for the upper and middle class, thanks to tax cuts, a recovering economy, and home refinancing. And ironically, the weaker dollar is actually strengthening sales by encouraging foreign shoppers.
If you're from Milan or you're from London or Paris and you're visiting New York, or if you're from Tokyo and you're visiting LA or San Francisco, your yen or euro is buying a lot more dollars.
I get a load of stuff, take it back to England with me, and everyone gets a better present than they would otherwise get if I bought it back home.
Still, retailers aren't expected to see the jump in sales they saw last year. 2003 saw an 8% increase. This year, projections are at 5%, as lower-income families are expected to spend less.
Higher costs for medical care, higher costs for energy, higher costs for food. These are all impacting folks at the lower or fixed income levels.
And because of that, discount retailers are planning cautiously.
And because they're planning for a more modest Christmas, there's less stuff in the stores to sell. And that if there's less stuff in the store to sell, there will be less urgency on the part of the retailers to flush it out as the holiday progresses.
So what does this mean for the average shopper looking for a good deal? There will be discounts, just not as many because there's less inventory to flush out. So advice to bargain hunters, get out and do your holiday shopping early. In San Francisco, Kim McNicholas, KRON 4 News.